So I thought I'd do a quick video on how long you should leave a site to start ranking. So for me, with my SEO strategy, I like to basically get as many articles as possible on the website and then leave it for a few months for Google to basically tell what your site's about and start basically ranking all the content. With the amount of articles, it does vary, but you basically want to keep your topical authority on a topic. So if you're writing about cars, you want to make sure you've got all your categories about cars and you've fully expanded on that topic of that section. Say if it's broke down to BMW or Audi or anything like that, you want to make sure that Audi category has enough articles in it to basically prove that you're an authority of the subject of whatever you basically the keywords you're mainly going after, the keyword groups. Which I wouldn't do is basically, if you say same strategy, you've got the automotive site, I wouldn't do loads of articles in different places and then maybe one or two in the Audi category and then leave it, because there's no real authority, there's no real trust there, so there's no real point having those articles compared to the other categories. Ideally, what I like to do is at least do a few different categories to tell you're an authority on the subject, and then in those categories you want at least 30 articles. It obviously depends what the topic's about and the clusters and everything, but say you want 30 articles in each section, and then you can let Google decide what it wants to rank you for. So give it a month, see what sort of hubs you're ranking for, and then if you say you're ranking in the BMW category over the other ones, you go more all in on that category and start writing more content around that to build that out, and then focus on the other ones. So that's how I judge and basically time allocate my focus and budget for content on the different, basically when you're building a site out. A few other things to mention, when it's a brand new website, it does depend. In my little case study I've been doing, it's been using the first rank index theory, where I didn't index it at all, and then I published 570 articles at once. It's actually doing quite well. There's quite a few in the top 10 and a few in the top 3, so overall it's doing all right. But I've not really touched it, and that's normal for me and normal in SEO, because as soon as you start got the site live, got all the content, you front loaded everything, the work, and then it's just more of a waiting game to let it sit and basically for Google to judge it and get the ranking gone. And then I generally go back into it later on. But while it's in this period, this is where you want to start building your directory and your foundational links while it's doing this. So that's what I generally do with brand new sites. I try and aim for around 100 articles to kick it off. Obviously, it's a lot easier with AI now, but the main point of it is you don't want to be leaving a few posts which are totally random to the overall site. Yeah, you might build that out later, which is great, but you do want to still build a few posts around that, even if it's just at least 5 and they're all interlinked and connected together. That's what you want to aim for. I wouldn't ever do 1 or 2 single posts in a category and then publish it. I would like a few posts, and you do that for each category. Ideally, for a proper content site, you want to aim for 100-ish. So you want to be blasting out as much content as you can at the start. Like I said, with AI, it's a lot easier to do this now. Before, I used to do that and then just publish, I don't know, 10, 20 articles a month, which is still good, still as long as you're adding articles. And that probably brings me to content velocity. How much should you be publishing and publishing regularly? A lot of people have a lot of different theories about this. For me, I don't think it does matter, but I don't think it matters too much. Link velocity definitely matters, but I don't think content velocity matters too much. For a lot of my main sites now, they're more or less an authority on the topic, and I publish articles very rarely for those sites. Maybe 1 or 2 articles every 3 months or something like that. So it's not a common thing with those. I just update content just to prove Google that you are working on the site and you want to be ranked number 1, so you are spending time on the site. So it is important to update articles, but for a new site, you want to keep publishing and keep doing the articles. For a schedule, I'm not too sure. It's up to you, really. I don't think it really matters too much. As long as you keep building out the site and keep working on it and proving to Google that you do want to rank for those topics is all you need. So that was a pretty long-winded, but trying to cover as much as I can for how long you should kind of leave a site to marinate. For me, like, I generally will, like, for this site I'm doing now, so I published 570 articles, and then I'm probably not really going to publish any more for 3 to 4 months, I would say. It's probably going to be around the 4 to 5 month mark, I would say, is probably when I'm going to start publishing a lot more content. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll come up and decide to do more because it is a case study. It needs something to keep it going. But I'd like to leave it at least that time because updating content, I like to do that every 6 months or, well, review it every 6 months. I do have like a sheet for doing this as well, so maybe I'll release that soon. But I do like to update content usually every 6 months. On a brand new site, I don't think you need to do it really every 6 months, but it is nice to go back and just basically give it a refresh to show it some love in Google's eyes that you're trying to rank for that topic. All right, guys, that was a quick one. Hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.